Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming out this beautiful December day, actually. Wow, December 1st. Happy holidays. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and you'll have a great Christmas. We had our food drive, as you know, during the month of November. We collected 2,753 pounds of food and $904 in cash to the Uxbridge People's First Food Pantry. I want to really thank the fire department for assisting this year, as well as the Uxbridge High School National Honor Society and Student Council. The kids were fantastic. It's nice having all those kids we can offload so quick and weigh all that food. It was a fantastic event. I want to remind everyone that we actually have our toy drive at Hannaford's, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We'll be there from 10 o'clock in the morning till 1 p.m. And we were called out by Northbridge PD. They challenged us to see who could collect the most toys. So I put it up on our social media page. They have a little advantage. They have a Walmart, and we have a supermarket. But we're up for the challenge, so please come out and support us. And it's really supporting families in need through the Marine Corps Toys for Tots and Teens program. And it's what it's all about, right? This holiday season is really trying to help and assist those that are in crisis, that are on difficult times. And every child should have a present to open up on Christmas. So, that being said, a lot going on at the police department. I will give you an update. All the puppies have been adopted. Yeah, so we're very thankful for that. They're doing well. The investigation continues. Again, I can't thank this community and those around us enough for the support that you give your police department and the Regional Animal Control Unit that we oversee here in Uxbridge. A total of $8,225 in donations came in for the puppies. So we were able to, with that money, do DNA testing. We were able to microchip them. All their shots, everything is up to date for a year, which was about $400 a puppy. And now we have excess funds in this account to assist other animals that are in distress or in crisis that's outside the budget. As you know, money's very, very tight. So as I say, things are going really well at the police department. I want to remind everyone that Saturday, tomorrow, we have our first night Santa parade. We put a code red notification out last night. It's up on social media and the media. A lot of road closures on Main Street. Be patient with us. It's our yearly event. And obviously, we're going to have the center of town shut down till about 8 o'clock because there are fireworks again this year. So we hope you'll come out and spend some time with us for the Santa parade, if it's possible, and those at home. And lastly, with the police department, we deal with critical incidents at times. A lot of these things I don't put up on social media, you don't hear about. We had a very, very serious incident that occurred, and what we're doing is we're having people come in to debrief our officers because, let's face it, mental health is just as important as your physical health. So this coming January 1st, I'm going to be taking over as the Central Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council president. Right now I oversee the SWAT team, and I'm going to implement another unit to that where there's a motorcycle unit, an accident reconstruction unit, a SWAT team, as I said, I oversee, and canine unit. We're going to add a debrief unit. So when something really bad happens to our officers throughout Central Massachusetts, we'll have local officers that will be able to come in and aid them and get them through very stressful situation. So I'll be sharing that with you as we move forward. I'd like to really thank Pastor Bob, who actually came out to the scene to help the family and to help the officers. It's really exciting. I can't say it enough. It's just a wonderful, wonderful community to work, live, and visit. So again, I thank you for inviting the police department the first Friday of every month. We're going to have Dr. Lutton here today. He's going to speak that aging isn't a disease, I believe is going to be the topic of choice, something like that. And again, on behalf of your police department, I want to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday, no matter what faith and no matter where you live, and hopefully you'll have a great time with family and friends. And I'm going to now turn it over to Marcia. She has a few announcements, and then we'll have a moment of silence and we'll serve everyone. And then I'll introduce Doc Lutton.
Thank you so much, Chief. I can only build on what the chief said, that Uxbridge really is a community of caring, and it shows in so many ways. We, too, at Thanksgiving time, in a small way, were able to reach 165 people out in the community with the help of the People First Food Pantry with meals. And many of our friends got together and cooked, and a brownie troop, Dr. Lutton's grandchildren are in that Girl Scout troop. Made little breads, so it was a beautiful thing, and it was nice that so many seniors were able, that are shut in, to have a nice meal at Thanksgiving, or just before Thanksgiving. So I want to thank the People First Food Pantry and all of the volunteers who helped with that. I also just wanted to call to your attention that you may have noticed we have a new flagpole out front. And we're very pleased with our new flagpole, because it's the flagpole that used to grace the front of our old post office. And then it was in front of the Sassy Fox. So when they built the new fire station, I put in a bid for that pole for us, and I'm so pleased that we were able to get that. And with the help of our DPW, we just got that up and flying. And we want to thank Frank Susky, a World War II veteran, not only for his service, but his service to his ongoing service to his community. Thank you for helping us raise the flag today, Frank. We're so pleased to have you here, and we're really honored that you were part of that. And we're hoping that for first night, we'll have more veterans here. Maybe Mike Pachesney can join us. Maybe Bill can bring his dad. We have several World War II vets, about 4 or 5 left here in our community, that we would love to have come and circle around our new flag, and maybe Gail can take some ceremonial pictures of that. So thank you for that. And then I just wanted to call to everybody's attention, as did the chief, that its first night is tomorrow already, and we are hosting the 8th grade choir is going to be singing for us, as well as the Spa Tones. So many of you who were here for Thanksgiving had a sneak preview. The Spa Tones are awesome, under the direction of Kathleen Penza, and they really have great singing voices and help get us in the spirit. They were amazing. They really are moving. And I'm looking forward to getting to know the 8th grade chorus as well. So we invite you all to come. And we will be serving cookies. Bethany DeVasian is the, I'm going to use an old term here, the home ec teacher, but I know they call it something new today. It's some kind of science. Barry, help me with that. What is it? Life Sciences, and they've made 6 trays of cookies, various different cookies from around the world. So we're going to have those to offer all of you, hot chocolate and cocoa, and we will have coffee and other drinks. So please come and join us for first night. And if you need a ride because you're going to have difficulty parking, let us know. We have a sign-up sheet, and our driver, Omer Boucher, who's here somewhere, can come and pick you up and bring you home safely, okay? So please sign up for that. And then lastly, I don't know if you can notice, but we painted the inside of our senior center a nice light gray, and we're getting new curtains to give our inside a little bit of a facelift to match the outside. We're very pleased with the way that the senior center has been looking, especially now that we have that beautiful flagpole out front. We're going to have a holiday open house on December 14th, and everybody is invited to come to that. It's going to run from 6:30 to 8:30, so it's after hours, and we're going to have a special guest speaker, Trevor Smith, and he's going to be talking about the importance of laughter. So his program is called Laughter for the Health of It, okay? So laughter is a very good thing. We have to always kind of look on the sunny side of life, right? And keep our spirits up, especially during the holiday season. So please come and join us on the 14th for the open house, okay? I think that's all of the announcements that I have. I want to thank everybody for coming today and wish everybody a very happy holiday season as well. So let us just take a moment to give thanks for one another and this nice food that we're about to receive. And we'll try to think of our friends that aren't with us here today.
So again, I would like to thank Uxbridge Community Access Cable for coming every month and broadcasting this for those that can't be with us. And just to clarify a little bit, there's been some questions about the first night parade. So what's going to happen is down towards North Main Street, down by the lights, we'll be shutting down Main Street from the Common to that location, Rivulet, at 4:15. The parade will kick off at 4:30. We'll leave 16 open for a bit until it starts to move, and then we're going to be shutting down the whole area for a period of time till we get through it. The other thing I wanted to mention too, which is just a fantastic event, which is December 6th. It's at the Angel of Hope Garden, which is on East Hartford Ave. It's basically a garden that was put together by the Pomeroy family when they lost their daughter to cancer. She was a baby, and families come. It's a visual, candlelight vigil that they have there every year on December 6th at 7 p.m. I've been fortunate enough to be able to attend the last several years. My nephew succumbed to cancer when he was 12. So it's one of those events where people come together and really honor the memories and the legacy of our little brave warriors who, I don't want to say lost their fight with cancer, but they can't be with us anymore physically, but are here with us in spirit. So hopefully you'll be able to, on the 6th, head on over to Angel of Hope Garden and celebrate that evening with us. Again, thank you for having the police department here at the Senior Center the first Friday of every month, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Lutton.
Thank you. First of all, I have to figure out what my leash does. There we go. Go back and get some of my props. Today we're talking about normal aging. When does normal aging begin? No, at birth you're beginning to grow, and you're beginning to grow up the hill. Normal aging begins when you get to the top of the hill and start to slide over, and that's about age 30. If you are 30 years of age, you're exercising a half hour every day, and you're eating the same calories every day, and you continue to do that for the next year faithfully, by the time you reach 40, you'll be 10 pounds heavier. Therefore, you must either adjust your exercise, increase it, or decrease eating. Now, another thing we have to talk about when we age is, what is our life expectancy? A baby born today, female baby born today, will be expected to live how long? 80.1 years. Now, the male baby, who is still trailing, will be expected to live 76 years. But I have to congratulate a lot of the people in this room, because you're in the other half of your age group, because you've lived beyond your life expectancy. So congratulations to all of us who are beyond our life expectancy. Now, I want to talk about some things that help us age. I don't want to go into the don't do this because it will cause that, but I want to go into do this so you don't get that. Now, let's talk about falls. One of the best things you can do for falls is come to the Thursday afternoon class at 1:30 and learn how to do Tai Chi. But here is a great, we call this it's one of our crutches, the cane. Most people, oh, I don't want to use a cane. I don't want to be using a cane. Well, let me tell you, canes can help you keep from falling. Do you know why we fall when we get older? Because three things, well, actually 4 things fail. One is our eyes, the other is our ears, another one is our muscle mass, and the other one is what we call proprioception. That's knowing where our body parts are. And especially those who may have diabetes or some neurological diseases, they lose the feeling in their feet. And what keeps us upright is what we call proprioception. That's the nerves in our feet, our ears, and our eyes. This is why you need a night light at night, because if your feet aren't working well, you turn out the lights at night when you go to bed, and then you got to get up and go to the little room down the hall. What are you going on? Only your hearing. Well, one of them won't keep you upright. You need at least 2 of the 3 to keep you upright. So you need a night light, and you need your ears, and another trick is your cane. Because if you drag a cane when you walk, whoop, I've reached the end of my leash. Okay, I got to turn around and come back. Getting out of your range too, right, Barry? You will feel vibration in your hand. That vibration in your hand is another point of contact. And it will help keep you upright. This is why if you go to a hospital, you'll have railings down the halls, so that you can. I hate the microphone. That's why you put them on the lapel. You can feel the railing as you walk down, and helps you keep your balance. So this can be a real friend. You don't have to hobble along with it. You just drag it along behind you, and you feel the vibration in your hand. Now, I want to take the time to talk about 3 other systems: muscles, bones, and the brain, and what we expect with normal aging. Now, Tom Brady is a perfect example of this. He's saying, I'm better today than I was so-and-so. Well, he may have more experience today, but he's not better today. Aging starts for all of us at age 30. And between the ages of 30 and 80, you will lose someplace between 30 and 50% of your muscle mass. I'm going to take you on a little journey into the past. Remember when you were 30 or 35 years old and you were trying to get into the store and there were all these old people in front of you getting in, and hurry up, get out of the way, hurry up, get out. Well, they can't. They've lost their muscle mass, and they've lost it primarily in the hip muscles, and they can't move any faster. And this also leads to their imbalance and why they have falls. So you need all the aid you can get to prevent from falling. Now, even the best of athletes lose muscle. But you can do something to help yourself, and that's exercise. Exercise will help keep some of your muscle mass. It won't deteriorate as fast. But we have yet to find the fountain of youth that lets us keep our muscles. Next is bone loss. And we'll often hear, so-and-so was going down the steps at a store and they fell and broke their hip. Guess what? They didn't fall and break their hip. Their hip broke and then they fell. So, the ladies are most prone to this. Why? You're not weaker. No. You got it. Pregnancy's one, because you got to give all this calcium to the baby. And if you don't keep putting it back, your bones have less. There's another reason why ladies tend to get more osteoporosis and problems. They're daintier. Their bones are smaller than the men's. So the man has to lose more. And what helps keep bones strong? No, don't get all that fancy stuff. This is just simple and going back hundreds of years. Exercise. If you don't exercise, your bones get weak. Take the individual who goes and has a broken leg and has to lay in the hospital for 6 weeks, which that doesn't happen anymore. You know, they're out in 2 days. But you lay for 6 weeks And what happens? All the muscle goes away, the calcium comes out of the bones, and they're weak. You've got to get back up and moving to make that bone stronger again. Now we'll go to the more fancy stuff. Calcium. How much calcium does the average individual over the age of 60 need a day? Well, 1,200 milligrams a day. So you got to read the labels on your foods. How much calcium are you getting? And maybe you'll have to take a calcium supplement to get it there. Next is, when is the last time you went sunbathing? I got a never. Going. Well, vitamin D is another very important substance that we need to keep our bones healthy. In New England, what do we do in the summertime? We put on hats, we put on sunscreen, and we go outside for 5 or 10 minutes on the way to the car, right? So we don't get any vitamin D because vitamin D is made in the skin from the sun. And to get adequate vitamin D, you must have the total upper half of your body exposed for at least 20 minutes to get enough vitamin D every day to maintain your bone health. So, what level of vitamin D do you have to have in your blood? Have you had it checked? Do I hear a number? Going once? Actually, that's how much you're taking. Your blood level should be above 20, between 20 and 50. About 10 years ago, I thought, just for kicks, I'd have mine done. Holy cow, it's 11. My bones are at risk. So I went on vitamin D every day. And you can take this. You can look at it in your milk. It'll be a supplement. But you ought to be getting around 1,000 micrograms of vitamin D every day. And finally, we talked about weight bearing. You need to get out there and do some exercise every day. Now, you don't have to run a marathon. And if you're 65 years old, don't start running, because if you do, you're going to have foot, ankle, knee, and back problems. And the dog next door will probably bite you because you can't outrun him. So get some exercise. Now I get to turn over the page and see where I'm supposed to be going. Walking is a wonderful exercise. Do you ever know it's just even if it's just circling your living room? Or if you can't walk, sit in a chair and do leg raises. And get weights and sit in your chair and do this. But you start out just doing this. Don't do the weight first. Do this. And then add a little bit. And if it hurts, don't do it. Come to Tai Chi. It's great. I was there yesterday. That's the reason I can stand up and talk to you today. Now, let's get on to that organ we all tend to worry about. The brain. What is normal aging for the brain? If you forget where you put your car keys, is that dementia? If you forget where you put the car, is that dementia? Well, we continue to make new brain cells or neurons throughout our entire life. The problem is, as we get older, they break down a little bit faster than we make them, especially after 65. The volume of the brain will actually shrink as we age. But this doesn't mean we can't remember and do things. The normal brain will carry us for a good 100 years. Now, we worry about the cognitive changes in our brain, our ability to remember. Well, what's really preserved for us are our skills and our ability to do things. If you could weave a basket at 30, you ought to be able to weave a basket at 85. Or if you did math problems and you continue to do them throughout your life, you're going to be able to do them at 85. The problem here is you get a little bit slower doing it. Your recall is a little bit slower, but you remember better. You take the young person who at 18 has just learned how to do something. They may be able to do it very fast, but come back to them in a week and can they remember what they did a week ago? And they'll have more problem. You can remember what you did at 18 because you've got it ingrained. And it's normal. What doesn't work so well for us is executive functioning. Executive functioning is being able to take a fact over here, another fact here, and here, and put them together. And the chief will like this one. Where he's gone. So he left it here all by myself. Okay. I didn't notice him leave. Is driving an automobile. And we all have to assess this for ourselves as we get older. Because when you're driving down the highway, what do you have to do? You have to look at the intersection coming here, and is anybody coming up it? There's a sign blinking over here telling you there's construction on down the road. There's a big truck coming up behind you fast. Someone's coming at you in the other direction. You've got to be able to take all these facts and simultaneously put them together. That's executive function while you're driving. And if you start to lose that ability, it's time to stop driving. I can't emphasize that enough. But as long as you have that executive function, even if you have physical disabilities, you should be able to keep driving because those can be accommodated for by putting different mechanics on your car. But it's the executive function that must keep going. Now, you need to preserve what you have. And let's give kudos to our chef, because the chef is helping us preserve what we have by giving us a nutritious meal. So we need to maintain good nutrition. We need to maintain ideal body weight. As I look around the room, some have been successful, some haven't. Because what does failing to maintain ideal body weight do? First of all, it gives you more fat to infiltrate your muscles so you make them weaker. Those bones I talk about have to haul around more weight. Plus, we open ourselves up to other diseases like adult onset diabetes. And anybody who has diabetes and comes up to me and says, I'm in good control, and they're 40 pounds overweight, well, I have words to describe it, but I shouldn't repeat them here because they're being recorded. They are not, because the keystone to control of diabetes is ideal body weight. That is the keystone. Then we go from that. Then if your sugars are still high, then we give you other things. But pills are no substitute, or injections are no substitute for ideal body weight. Also, how many of you are on medication? I only got a few hands. I've got to ask that question again. How many of you are on medication? Okay. How many of you take over-the-counter medications? Do you know what they do to you? I always like this question. What is the most common over-the-counter drug? Okay, I got a Tylenol, aspirin, ibuprofen, cough medicine, $400 billion a year industry. It's called alcohol. And it is not regulated by the FDA. It's regulated by the firearms people so that they make sure the taxes get paid. And alcohol is one of the most problematic over-the-counter drugs we have in the older person. They get lonely and they drink. They retire and they drink. And it's amazing the amount of problems we have with the alcohol, especially when you add alcohol to the executive function in driving. So be cognizant of the amount of alcohol you consume. What is the amount of wine that a woman should not exceed in a day? Not exceed. How big's the glass? 4-ounce glass, right. And therefore, I want to talk about some of our other medications. You've been on these the average amount of medications taken by someone over the age of 65, I believe, is 4 medications a day. You got started on these when you were 55 years old. And now you're 70. And you're still taking them. When was the last time they were reviewed for you? I got a never. Well, what you'll do is you'll go in, maybe you'll go into a doctor's office, and they'll say, what medications you're taking, and they'll go over them. But they're not really, they're just listing what you're taking. They're not going over them with you. They're not telling you what they do. Should you be cutting them down? One of the big faults I have with physicians are they're great on starting medications. They're terrible on stopping them. Just because you start them, you don't have to take them forever. So please, when you go, have them reviewed. And do I still need to be taking them? Because many things shouldn't be taken for more than 6 months, and you're on them for 20 years. How are we doing? I got to watch the bus time. And then we go to over-the-counter drugs. Over-the-counter drugs are not covered by the FDA. Well, they sort of are. I read a study the other day that the animal control in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I believe spends $1.8 million a year on their animal control, which is more money than the FDA spends on over-the-counter drug control. That's not much. So these over-the-counter drugs you need to look at, because Tylenol, is it a safe drug? Why not? Actually, it's liver. And if you take an overdose of Tylenol, it can shut down your liver and you become a liver transplant candidate. How much is that in a day? No more than 4 6.5 milligram tablets. Especially if you're older and you consume alcohol. And then you add Tylenol or acetaminophen to this, you can get into liver problems. We have about 4,000 people a year in the United States become eligible for liver transplants because of acetaminophen overdose. How about ibuprofen? How many of you take ibuprofen? What does it cause? I got an ulcer back there. Anything else? Heart disease. Especially if you have pre-existing heart disease, you are at risk of exacerbating that heart disease with ibuprofen. So before you take these over-the-counter drugs, ask your healthcare professional if you should be taking them. How much should you take and what should you not exceed? And then let's go to vitamins. How many people take vitamins every day? Who are they approved by? Nobody. There's one on, I won't use the brand, but it says, we are approved by USP. Well, that's got the US in it. It must be approved by the FDA, right? No, they're a private organization that may even be owned by the company that makes the vitamin. They themselves are responsible for those vitamins. They're not approved by anybody. Your herbal medicines that many take are not approved by anybody. So be careful what you're taking and make sure you talk to your healthcare provider about it. And what I'm going to do at this point is open up. Anybody has any questions about anything, I'll try and answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll try and go find the answer for you. Diabetes. There are two types of diabetes, as you may well. Well, there's several more now, but. Oh, the question was, what was the question again I'm answering? Does diabetes run in the family? Yes, especially type 1 diabetes, which is the childhood diabetes. If one parent has diabetes, you have a 50% chance of getting diabetes. If both parents have diabetes, you're closer to a 100% chance. Yeah. So you are at risk if there's family. But we are also at risk because of our social climate. We eat too much, and we eat the wrong stuff. That answer your question? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Did you say on the Tylenol, not more than 4 a day of 625 or 6.8?
650. 650 milligrams. I was using grams. 6 point.
Is there a number for that? No more on the
I don't. It's usually 200 milligrams. Yeah. So you have to be careful with it. But if you have heart disease, be careful. And it's also precipitated heart disease in a few who do not have known heart disease. And you don't want to take it for a long period of time. 3 days to a week, probably no problem. But if you're on it day after day after day after day, then you're running the risk. Yes?
What about the baby aspirin? That's the doctor's one.
The baby aspirin are the 81 milligrams a day. I take one a day. Well, the thing is, you don't need more than one a day. What the baby aspirin does is you have things floating through your blood called platelets. Platelets stick together and make blood clots. And that's what happens when you cut yourself. You're bleeding, and the bleeding slowly slows down and stops because the platelets stick together and make a clot. It's called a white clot. Well, the reason people are taking the baby aspirin is that it coats the platelet and helps keep it from sticking together. And in people who are tending to have strokes or heart disease, may be placed on it to help prevent clots from occurring. And you only need a little bit every day because platelets last for about 30 to 60 days. So you only have to coat the new ones that were made today, because the ones that were made yesterday got coated with yesterday's aspirin. So you just need a little bit every day. So 81 milligrams is sufficient.
I have a question. My doctor decided I should be taking 2 a day. I went online and couldn't see a good reason to take 2 a day, similar to what you were explaining.
2 a day doesn't do anything more. 81 milligrams is enough to coat all the platelets you're going to make today. You're not coating all your platelets because they got coated.
But this is such a common thing to be, taking the aspirin, and I just can't understand what my doctor is thinking, where he ever got that information.
Ask him. You are allowed to ask questions of your doctor.
Yeah.
I have just put out a book with the editor right now, and it's not coming back to me very fast because she got hit by a car the other day. But this book is called "What You Don't Know About Healthcare Can Kill You," physically, mentally, and financially. So I'll get a copy up here when it comes out. Yeah. Actually, I gave a lecture series on it, and people said, "Where can I get this information?" I said, "I better write it down."
She's not doing about car. I have about car too. I have about car. I also have Helen Clinton, 1970. I spent 84 days in a coma.
And it took its toll. But you made a comeback.
I didn't get hit by a car until 3/3/03. But I recovered from that. I recovered from a spectacular head-on collision I had 1970.
Did everybody survive it? 2 fatalities.
But I spent 3 years in the hospital. I spent 3 years in the hospital, rehabilitation hospital, Rutland Heights Rehabilitation Hospital, VA Hospital in Rutland, Massachusetts.
Great example of the human resiliency. We can tolerate a lot, but you need to help yourselves and ask questions. And with that, I got to put you on the bus. Thank you.
I just want to take a moment to thank Dr. Lutton personally. I always learn something new when Dr. Lutton is in the house. We don't have too many doctors that make house calls anymore. So we're really glad that you were in the house with us today. Some of those over-the-counter drugs that we take that we think are just, that's going to affect any of us. But we need to think again about that. So if I could just give a little plug for our senior center, please know that Lynn makes very good heart-healthy meals every day. They're low sodium and low sugars, and food is medicine. Probably, can I dare say this, Dr. Lutton, the best medicine, food, the right food? The right food can be the best medicine. So please come and join us for lunch. We're here to help you and serve you every day. We have heart-healthy, fresh meals cooked right in-house here. So come and join us. Friday's always fish day, and I've been told fish is good brain food. I believe that. So come and join us, all right? Happy holidays. I hope I will see everyone at first night. And Dr. Lutton comes to our Tai Chi class every Thursday from 1:30 to 2:30. Our Tai Chi instructor is here today. Ron Allen is here. It really does help with balance. So come and join us. It's free, and it's for everybody with all different abilities. So come to Tai Chi. All right, and have a great weekend. Hope to see you at first night.